I honestly kind of like the situation of, or the setup that I have now of not doing the news videos on a daily basis because it allows me to, um, it allows me to pay attention to the news. And if something jumps out, be like, oh, we got to do the news tomorrow. But at the same time, not really, not really, uh, not really force it, I guess is the best way to put it. But we got news on not just NXT, but also New Japan Pro Wrestling and a new match from Impact. But we'll get to all that more in this news video. But we will start with something that I'm sure is on a lot of people's minds, and that is the question of where is Bray Wyatt? And the answer is WWE is said to be very unhappy with Wyatt Creative, and according to reports, are said to be disappointed with how things have worked out, going as far back as the Pitch Black match from WrestleMania, from not WrestleMania, the Royal Rumble. And it's not that they're disappointed by the performances of the athletes. It's that they're disappointed by the reaction of the masks. Because they looked at Royal Rumble as an opportunity to push the masks, Bray Wyatt's merchandise and the like, and basically the feeling that they got was that the mask was not going to get over like the Fiend mask did. And because it was not going to get as over as the Fiend mask did, they want to go in a different direction because they want to bring back the Fiend. Because they want the mask to get over, they want to sell merchandise, and they want to go a certain way. And I understand that, but at the same time, having a set realm of creative is more important than having something that sells merchandise. Because if the creative is nowhere near stable, then even if you have a stable bit of merchandise, a good bit of merchandise to sell, or something worth selling, it doesn't really freaking matter, because if the merchandise, if the creative is not hitting, then even if the merchandise is something that you want to sell, it doesn't matter because the person is not somebody people want to see on TV. So it's basically, you sit there and say, oh, well, the creative's good, the merchandise is good, but the creative's shit. If you want people to care about the creative, then the merchandise needs to be good too. I mean, vice versa. If you want people to care about the merchandise, the creative needs to be good too. If one's not good, if one's good and the other's bad, it's not going to hit as well as it should. You know what I mean? It's not going to hit as well as it should. And that's the unfortunate thing as far as Wyatt's concerned, because I think that the evidence is here as far as, Bray Wyatt, as far as Bray Wyatt is concerned, the evidence is here as far as Bray is a gifted athlete. Bray is somebody who knows what works for him, but at the same time, Bray needs a filter. Bray is not perfect. Bray is not, somebody that amazingly knows everything and knows what works. He needs somebody that can narrow his focus, and even if it means having him go week to week as far as creative is concerned, it would be better than having him try and understand that, or it would be better than having him go the route of, oh, well, blah, 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 blah. No, it's, one thing at a time, one thing at a time, one thing at a time, and go from point A to point B. You know, like, okay, we want to build to WrestleMania. How do we get to WrestleMania? Oh, but I want to think about, but I want to, filter out my promo. No, we're going to do WrestleMania, and then we're going to filter back to your promo. How we know where we want to go for WrestleMania. How do we get there? That's what should be the focus. That's what should be the focus. And that's what the person specifically designed to be working with Bray on his creative should be doing. It shouldn't be, oh, well, Bray should have the ability to speak up, but not the ability to run things. Simple as that. That's just how it is. I understand WWE's perspective. I think everybody's disappointed with Bray and that the return did not go as well as, the return did not go as well as we hoped. And it's unfortunate because it was a return that a lot of people were excited about. And it was a return that a lot of people were looking forward to. But the momentum that the return had from the start quickly dissipated and quickly disappeared soon after Bray started, and it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, and I think this is something we're going to keep talking about because it's clear that creative may be the reason why Bray disappeared. I don't think that The Fiend returning would be the right thing, but speaking of Bray Wyatt, a former Wyatt family member, Braun Strowman, is currently suffering from an undisclosed injury and will miss an extended period of time to the point of where he may have to have surgery. So all I gotta say to that is props to I hope the best to Braun Strowman, and I hope that whatever time that he misses will not be an extended period of time because him being around teaming with Ricochet has been an added boost to the tag team division. But according to Fight Fans, WWE is disappointed by Wyatt's run so far and wants The Fiend to return. And I think that would be a mistake. But we'll get down to that as we learn more about Bray Wyatt and the potential return, which should be coming around the corner. But as we talk about another injury, Mercedes Moné sustained an injury at Resurgence. And apparently, based on what the information that we got, it seems like the injury appears to be a sprained ankle. We don't know if it's going to require surgery. We don't know if it's broken because the swelling was that bad or that severe that, number one, Mercedes was not even able to walk on it after the match with Willow Nightingale. But I do hope for the best with Mercedes and that she's not going to be missing any prolonged period of time. But also, it was pretty obvious that New Japan, well, it wasn't obvious that New Japan made the Women's Championship for the New Japan World Women's title for just Mercedes Moné. It is pretty obvious that they made the New Japan World title the New Japan World Women's Championship for the fact that they're expanding the New Japan World banner, but the title was meant to be won by Mercedes. Mercedes changed the finish during her match with Willow Nightingale at Resurgence when she realized something was wrong. Props to Mercedes for being able to do that. Props to Mercedes for doing that and not just winning the match either way and then dealing with the injury after the fact. Props to her for giving Willow her moment in the sun and shocking the fans by Mercedes putting over Willow Nightingale, whether it was based on an injury or not. It still was a nice surprise at Resurgence last week, or 2 weeks ago, I believe at this point. But either way, hope the best to Mercedes and Braun Strowman, that they both have the ability to have a quick recovery, and I will give you guys an update on what happens next with the New Japan World Women's Championship when we get more information, or whenever the next card, including Willow Nightingale as the women's champion, is set to take place. With that being, which I believe should be, if not June, maybe July. I think, because I think New Japan has a show in either Philadelphia or Washington coming up. Washington, D.C., not Washington State. But I think they have East Coast shows coming up over the summer. So I will give you guys an update on that when more information is known. And also an update on Mercedes when more information is known. But either way, props to her. Now it's time to end this video and move to the next one. So I will see you in the next